one of the positives, what you have been through, being diagnosed with cancer, literally the day you had a baby, going public about it, talking about, and the the criticism that you receive. And it's like, I'm used to people who work at Fox News being a target, but the personal, vindictive, vitriolic, angry criticism that you received when you disclosed your treatment was unlike anything I had ever seen.
I know. And everyone had opinions about it. And I get it. But it's like, people are like, why double mastectomy? And
I had the same thing.
It's like, no, you didn't.
I just had a shot of adrenaline and I'm fine.
But it's also like, you didn't. If you're 85, you did not have the same thing as a 36-year-old pregnant woman being diagnosed with breast cancer. It's not the same. There's a lot of different reasons why it's different. And I tried to put myself in the place of these people just care about me. I did lose it on one lady, the 30th comment that I was like, why double mastectomy? I replied, and I was like, just for fun. Just for fun. Yeah. I thought like I didn't have enough going on with a newborn, like a literal fresh baby, that I just decided, why don't I cut my off? You don't need those for a newborn. There'd be nothing that I wanted to do with a newborn with those. So it's like, obviously I consider this. Obviously I took this very seriously.
I mean, you're in New York City.
Yeah.
You went to a number of doctors, a number of hospitals.
I went to 3.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And you got advice from world-class surgeons and oncologists and came to a very well-informed decision.
Yeah. And I would have had the choice. I could have done a lumpectomy, but then it was in my nipple anyway. So, and I didn't have big boobs. So like, my was like all nipple anyway. So I'm basically removing one. And then I would need radiation and hormone blockers. And then I would need to continually be doing these scans over and over again to see if it came back. And those 6 weeks, which you obviously knew about, I was talking to you throughout this. I wasn't really talking to a lot of people about this, about how I didn't really know if it had spread or not until a couple weeks after my mastectomy and I got the pathology back. That was a really hard time, obviously, for me. Very stressful for me, for anybody it would be. I didn't want to put myself through that every couple months.
Yeah.
So it was...
Yeah, like every time you have a lump.
Yeah.
Or every time there is, a microscopic development in a scan, you have to live in that limbo.
Absolutely. And I couldn't live like that.
Yeah.
So it was the hardest thing I ever had to do, but it was an easy choice. It was definitely an easy choice.
So, and walk me through, because there may be people watching who know that you had a mastectomy and reconstruction, but they're like, what's the thing with the nipples?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be rude and ask.
It's okay. Yeah. So the thing with the nipples.
And I think this is very good for women who are going through the same thing.
Yeah.
Because they're terrified.
Yeah.
They feel like they have to hide it and that they should be ashamed. And as I was saying, one of the positives to come out of this, you being so open about everything you've gone through. And I know other women have reached out to you and said,
they have,
thank you, because I haven't been able to talk about this with anyone.
And that has made it all worth it to hear from those women.
Yeah.
Hear from women who I've helped them, or people who have went and gotten checked out when they wouldn't have before. But so the nipple reconstruction is they make a nipple out of your skin. They actually make a nipple, an actual protrusion out of your skin.
And that's the surgery.
And that's, yes. And it's easy. I only need to take a day off work.
That's amazing.
So it's easy. And then I have to wait 6 more months and then I get them tattooed. Some women just get the 3D tattoos, and the 3D tattoos look really, really good. They actually, I've seen so many of these at this point. They actually do look like there's a protrusion there. The problem is, in nipple season, you can't participate because, which some people is a positive. Like, you don't have to wear a bra.
Unless you're wearing like a sheer tank top.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't. I want to have that little protrusion there. So I'm going for it all. I'm going for everything that's available to me. But it is so nuts because I'm obviously somebody who I just like put it all out there. That's who I am. I had a tough time for a little bit deciding, like, do I tell people I don't have nipples? Because a lot of people I know have gone public with their own mastectomies, have said, oh, I have a nipple-sparing mastectomy. I had a nipple-sparing mastectomy. And that's great for them. It was not an option for me. Yeah. So I was like, is everybody going to think I'm a gross, disgusting freak if I don't have nipples? And then I was like, man, if I'm feeling this way, there's a lot of other women out there who probably feel this way. So I really want to put this all out there, put it out there that I feel this way, and then put out there the fact that I don't always feel this way. Like, I saw my picture in the New York Times style section. I was like, damn, I look so hot.
You looked amazing.
And it felt like such a win over so many things that had tried to take me down, to actually look at myself and be like, I look hot.
Yeah.
Like, to objectify myself. Not just like, oh, I'm so proud of you, you're so strong, but like, you look hot.
Yes.
You know? I could not have imagined that in March when I was hobbling around my apartment with drains dangling on my side, you know?
Yes, with the newborn baby.
With the literal newborn baby.
I know, and that was tough because there were times where you couldn't, you could snuggle with your baby.
Yeah.
You were side by side with your baby.
Yeah.
You touched and kissed and nuzzled him constantly, but you couldn't like pick him up for a while.
It was such an insane scene in my apartment that I don't know how we got through it. So it's me, the dog, the geriatric cat, my husband Cam, my father, because my mom's dead, so I got my dad there, and a baby boy. So I'm surrounded by all these dudes, and
Literally,
like
it's all men.
and it's all men.
males.
There's a lot of penises in this apartment, and then me going through two things that are just so feminine.
Yes.
I mean, that are just that only a woman could even hope to understand, which is obviously being postpartum, having given birth, breastfeeding for a month, and then having your breasts removed, which like my husband can't. He's like, well, they were just fat. Like, he's like, they look way better now. Like, who cares? And it's like, you don't get it, and he never will get it, and he can't get it because he's a dude.
Yeah.
So I was going through that with all these men. It's like when I would hear my son cry, and I had just been, just remove my boobs. And that was obviously hard enough because I love breastfeeding. I was really good at it. I would have done it forever.
I could not believe how
I had
prolific
so much milk.
I've never seen anything like it.
I know. I was able to freeze enough to feed him for another
That is
month after that. There was so
it's
much milk. It
incredible.
was insane.
Yes.
So, but I just had, had that
So he was
amazing
crying.
experience. He's crying after I, have had my mastectomy, and I have to go get a man to pick him up. Like, it just made me feel like a bad mom, even though I logically knew that wasn't the case. And what I did because I want to be around for him for a long time. But to be like, all right, my son's crying, everything in my body's screaming to go pick him up, but I can't do that, or I could really hurt myself. So let me go get one of these dudes. Like, it was just so hard. Yeah. I don't know how all of us got through that. I really don't know how we did. People are like, how'd you do that? I'm like, I don't know, but I must have, because I'm still here today. I literally don't know.
Other than your dad, who doesn't live in New York.
No, he doesn't live in New York.
Yeah, no help.
No,
like, it was amazing.
No.
Like, beholding that as a friend, like, it was absolutely incredible to see the two of you balancing this, and then when you went back to work. But I have to know, what is the process for picking out nipples? Like, do they have a menu?
I don't know.
Are there pictures? Do you look at porn? Like, how do you decide? Is it something like aspirational? Like, I've always wanted pink nipples the size of a saucer.
I know. I'm going to go see my plastic surgeon at the end of the month. So I wonder if that's when I'm going to start picking them out.
Yes.
So I'm sure that's probably when I am going to start picking them out.
I mean, do you pick size? Do you
pick
shape?
Pick everything. You get to pick everything.
Are you sticking with the original model?
I think I'm going to stick with the original model.
Okay.
I think I'm going to stick with the original model. But it's like such a weird thing to do, to be like, what nipples would I like for myself? Yes. It was weird picking out my own boobs. It was very weird picking out my own boobs.
How do you do that? Like, are there shapes, like, because I've seen like teardrop?
Yeah. It's especially weird when you have no idea what your natural boobs would look like, because your whole body's different from having just given birth.
Yeah.
Because I have kept weight from my pregnancy, thank God, on my body, which looks great on me and I love it. But like,
and you look really strong.
I've been working. I was so skinny before. I was so skinny, way too skinny before. And then I gained weight with pregnancy. I've kept some of it. But I'm like, so my boobs from before pregnancy wouldn't fit. And then I'm like, okay, I was breastfeeding at the time. That's way too big. Those were gigantic, especially because I was overproducing. No way. So I didn't know what size to go with. So my doctor really kind of helped me. And there were certain things that you had to take into account, like, if I went a little smaller, then they would have been too far apart. So like they kind of help you decide with that. But with my surgery, when I got my boobs fully removed, they put expanders in. They put tissue expanders in, which
is that pretty typical?
Yeah, it's everyone's different. Some people go direct to implant. That wasn't an option for me. It depends. Some women need radiation. Some people need to get treatment first. But for me, they put expanders in. And then after some healing time, I would go in every week and get them filled a little bit.
Interesting.
So then I kind of got to try on different sizes. Now, it wasn't perfect because the expanders were way further apart than mine are now.
Okay.
So,
but you got a sense.
I got a sense for what all these different sizes would look like on my body.
Yeah.
But it was such a weird thing. And I remember feeling like I was embarrassed to like go out in public after with my implants, because everyone's gonna be like, look what she picked, those are the boobs she wants. And like it's just such a weird thing. It's so strange, because it's like, you know, I don't know if you've ever heard of this before, but sometimes women have, you know, a tough time getting used to their postpartum body. Like, that's enough of a thing in its own. Yeah. I also had to cut my off at the exact same time, like, and get new ones.
Plus, you have like your hormones are shifting, like, and you know, it's like, you can be postpartum by a few months and think that you're good, and then all of a sudden you get a curveball, and an emotional curveball, and you're like, I was not told this.
Totally.
There's no book that talks about this. On top of navigating, you know, two major surgeries, healing and trying to figure out the system for caring for your baby, and then coming back to work where everyone on a good day, when you look fantastic, wants to pick you apart.
Absolutely. Everyone's looking. But one thing that it kind of taught me, I guess, is just how, I mean, Buddhism talks all the time about attachment being the root of all this suffering. And I can kind of really had to live that, because it's like so much was changing about my body so fast that I didn't really have the time to pick apart any one thing. And I almost got kind of a crash course in like, boom, this is what you thought your body was. Look how fast that can change. Wow. Look how fast so many things can change, that I, in many ways, am more confident in my body now. Now, of course, the nipple thing's still really tough. Like, still really tough. Scars, still really tough. Gonna be tough. But overall, I've had this sort of perspective shift of like, how foolish to get attached to any of this. Look at how fast things can change. And I wonder if I hadn't gone through this trauma, if I would have been more critical of my body postpartum than I have been.
I think you would have.
Because I haven't at all been. I haven't at all been. I'm like, wow, look what my body was able to do.
No, but it's like the best thing, one of the best things, in addition to the fact that you're healthy and cancer-free and have an absolutely beautiful baby.
Yeah, he's real cute.
Sleeps when you put him down.
Yes, he does.
Like, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, he does.
And now I'm really excited for you to have a second baby, because I want to see if the second baby does it.
The second baby's going to be a nightmare. I just know it.
But you go, like, the first baby, you're like, okay, I'm putting you in your crib, and then he puts his butt in the air and sleeps.
He flips over, puts his butt in the air, and sleeps.
Yeah.
And he's just like...
And he's good with it. He's like, nope, we're good.
And
we're
I'll
fine.
see him in 11, 12 hours.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Never seen anything like
Yeah.
it. I know there are babies who sleep. My older one slept. Not like that, though.
Yeah.
Like, it is unbelievable. So I hope there's a system that you know, you can replicate and show the rest of the world.
It's just... it makes me really happy because... Like, sorry, I don't get emotional. I wanted so badly for him to not know that this happened. Like, you know, I don't want him to, like... Because like, babies can sense things, and I tried to not like melt down in front of him. I would try to like leave the room if I was gonna freak out, because I don't. He's just this sweet, innocent little boy, and I will. It's like, I just want to be like, I'll tell you someday what an absolute show you were born into, but I don't want you to know right now that this is a show. I want you to know how much everyone loves you, and man, did a lot of people come together for this little guy. I mean, Cam, my dad, and then you obviously were helping your daughter.
I know.
Like,
that was the sweetest
It was really
thing.
all hands on deck, because we didn't have like a night nurse or a nanny or any of that.
You really, I mean, you didn't.
Because we were like, we'll be fine. Like, we'll be fine. We'll figure it out. But we were not. We didn't have a double mastectomy in planning. You know, in the cards. We didn't account that tiny little factor into our plans.
Yeah. As the calendar flipped to 2025.
Yeah.
You know, what were you imagining going into the new year? Because you were, what, about 8 months pregnant when we went into 2025?
Yeah, or so. Yeah, about 8 months. Yeah, I was like, wow, you know, I mean, I have this baby, and like, I was so concerned, because I had a lot of like swelling. So like towards the end, I was like, my thighs were like freakishly gigantic, and I was like, I thought it was just fat. I was like, I'm gonna be fat. I'm never gonna lose all this weight. And I was like, you know, putting oil on so I didn't get stretch marks. Happy to report, didn't get any stretch marks. Like, that was like the worst thing I could imagine.
Yeah.
Was like that I would get stretch marks, and it's like, and I have like. If I ever get them, I have like all these scars. Like nobody. Like, I have so many scars now between the bag and that. It's like, whatever. I'm just a scar lady.
But the shit bag was good preparation, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, that's the thing. Is like, because I had the bag, like the recovery from the mastectomy was like a lot easier, because I was like, I could still. And honestly, like the postpartum poop that is like, scary, like was less scary when you've already like, pooped out your stomach. Sorry, is this disgusting? I imagine living it.
And if you've read your book, yeah. They know.
But yeah, like I was like, oh, and I'm gonna spend all this time just like with my husband at home with our new little baby, and just like focus on that. Maybe like I'll get a little bit of stuff done. And I was so excited. I was so excited to breastfeed. I was like so into that. I also was like planning to give birth without an epidural, and then I ended up needing one because I needed to relax my pelvis because he was facing the wrong way.
They also wanted to give you a C-section.
They did, and I made it to 7 centimeters without an epidural. I wanted to go the whole way, but like if
there was no way, the way he was
positioned, if I didn't have an epidural, then like he definitely would have been a C-section because he was sunny side up, and they were really pressuring me to get a C-section. They were telling me I needed one, and I was like, you don't get it. Like I have to have a double mastectomy, so I can't recover from all this. Like I need to push this baby out, and I did, but it was very difficult, and I like busted a blood vessel in my eye, and I couldn't move my arm for like a while because I was like pulling.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing. Basically, all this to say, literally nothing went according to plan. Literally nothing went according to plan.